What's up, everyone? Welcome to Lollipops to Die For. I'm your host, Simona, and my co-host, Stephanie. And this is the story or the legend of Zozo, the Ouija board demon. So, Zozo is considered a demon or a supernatural entity, and it has been spoken in the occult world for several years. Some say centuries in Hollywood. So, he became a household name from Hollywood, and there are stories and legends associated with Zozo. So, is it real or is it not? Let's dive in.
So what is a Ouija board? So the Ouija board is also known as a spirit board or a talking board. I have one right here in front of us so you all can see. It's a witch board. It's a flat board marked with letters of the Latin alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, the words yes and no, and occasionally hello or goodbye, along with various symbols and graphics. It is a device used for obtaining messages from the spirit world, usually employed by a medium during a seance. The name derives from the French and German words for yes, oui and ja. It is designed to be a fun activity, they do say, at Toys R Us, ages 8 and up, okay? So it's designed for a fun activity based on self-deception. The Ouija board has roots in spiritualism, a religious movement that was fashionable amongst the upperly mobile classes in both the United States and Europe during the mid to late 19th century through the 1920s.
Well, let's dive into who Zozo is.
Let's find out.
So Zozo demon is said to be a demonic entity that possesses people through seances and summonings.
Mm-hmm.
This demonic spirit is supposed to be active, especially on Halloween or Day of the Dead or All Saints Day. This demon is associated with the number 13, ironically, as all demons are.
I love 13.
I know. And it is said to be the number of letters in his name. According to another theory, more plausible one, Zozo is another name for the Mesopotamian demon Pazuzu.
Which,
again,
yeah.
Pazuzu came again to be very famous from the movie called The Exorcist. So also, Zozo is really is a nickname for Pazuzu. This creature supposedly terrorized occultists and party game enthusiasm for at least 2,700 years. So Zozo first came on the scene of the internet in 2009, when a guy named Darren Evans shared his personal experiences associated with Zozo.
So is Zozo real? Is he associated with Pazuzu? If you ask me, I would say no. But I'm taking myself and my own experiences out of the equation. So is Zozo real? That's the question. There's no scientific evidence that the Zozo demon exists. However, there are many personal accounts of people who say that they have had experiences with this demonic spirit. Whether or not you believe in the existence of Zozo demon is up to you. Most descriptions of Zozo refer to it as a demon, but the truth is that nobody knows what it is. Zozo's MO is to introduce itself to an unwary spirit board, the Ouija, okay? Users interact with them through the board for a little while and then slowly begin to spread its influences over their lives. Though a few connections exist between the name Zozo and the identity of the Mesopotamian demon, it is not entirely clear if Zozo calls itself a demon or if reports of the malicious behavior have earned it as a demonic reputation. So that's up for debate, but again, I'm not subjecting my opinions.
Yet. So how do you summon the demon called Zozo? Apparently, there are different ways. One of the most common ways that this person, Darren Evans, made famous was the Ouija board. So people say that you can summon Zozo through the Ouija board, and he comes through because it's used as a magic mirror. And you can also hold a seance and, channel him. It is also important to note that there is no guarantee to any of these methods. Either you seance him or you use the Ouija board. However, it is advised that you are very careful and be forewarned of the fact that Zozo may be very violent and will stop to nothing from causing any harm to you or your family. So,
well, that's
it remains to be debated.
So, how do you get rid of him? Once you've summoned him, how do you get rid of him? So if you believe that you have been possessed by the Zozo demon, there are a few different ways that you can try to get rid of it. If you find yourself dealing with a Zozo demon, there are a few things that you can do to get rid of it. So first, try sprinkling holy water around your home, as if that's going to work. Okay, but whatever. This will ward off most demons. Yeah, right. Okay. You can also try burning sage and Palo Santo wood. No smoke is going to get rid of a demon. Okay? Both of these will help, but I'm just going by what is said will get rid of Zozo. Okay? Both of these will help to cleanse your space and to get rid of the negative energies. Finally, if all else fails, you can consult with a professional exorcist. That would be a priest. Go to the Vatican. They're going to laugh you off. Okay? You can also try using holy water or performing an exorcism yourself. Probably not recommended for somebody that has no clue. So the Zozo demon is a fascinating supernatural entity with a long, long history. Whether or not you believe in its existence, that is up to you. But there are certainly some interesting stories and legends surrounding the demonic spirit. If you ever do find yourself in the presence of a Zozo demon, just remember that there are always ways to get rid of it. Maybe. Whether or not you believe in the existence of this demon, one thing is for sure, you should never attempt to summon it. Not only is it incredibly dangerous, but you could also end up causing harm to yourself and those around you. Okay? If you think you're dealing with a Zozo demon, be sure to take precautions and consult with a professional if necessary.
What an advice. So we'll give our 2 cents in the end.
Yeah.
But lastly, we want to mention the legend of Zozo. Where did it all start? Aside from, Darren going online and talking about his experience of Zozo or what he thought is the experience of Zozo.
Right.
These demons supposedly affected a lot of people across the world throughout centuries. So one of the legends states that an occultist and author named Jacques-Laurent de Plancy was a French occultist and demonologist. Basically, in 1818, he wrote a book called the Dictionnaire Infernal, which is a dictionary infernal. He speaks about demonic forces and events, and the demon Zozo is mentioned in this book. He mentions a particular incident when Zozo apparently possessed a little girl, and apparently this little girl was possessed by 3 spirits, not just Zozo, and they would terrorize her and attack her, make her crawl on four
like her hands and knees,
and basically commanded her to kick and bite people while walking on the street. Apparently these demons are this particular cultist registered in his book that she would contort into different shapes. Her body would basically twist around, and which was, of course, very weird at that time. And her family apparently at some point reached out to priests to get this particular exorcism and the evil spirits out of this little girl. She was exorcised.
Wow.
And apparently during the exorcism, all windows shattered and a loud boom can be heard.
Wow.
So this is what de Plancy is associating with the legend of Zozo. So now for our 2 cents on Zozo. Is it real? Is it not?
I think it's man-made by the movies.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
Right.
I don't think Pazuzu is associated. I personally work with Pazuzu, so I would differ from that, especially the description of Zozo and like how horrific he is, supposedly.
Right.
I think he's just created by the Ouija board films.
Well, of course.
And I think people take it to the extreme, and then most people are paranoid, especially if you come from a Christian background with the Ouija. I have these hanging all over my house, and I don't have Zozo coming through it.
Well, the thing is, Darren Evans, in what year? 2009, he went online and made a bunch of videos about this particular spirit that had invaded his house, his home, his kid, his family, you know, all throughout. And he basically states that his experiences, even though he moved through countless homes,
Right.
this particular spirit followed him and ruined his life. But at the same time, it is registered that Darren Evans basically was using Ouija boards on a daily as a practice.
Well, they say you shouldn't do that on a daily, and you shouldn't use it by yourself.
Okay.
You should always have somebody with you.
Well,
which, it's better.
he became pretty obsessed, and I would beg to differ. That would be Zozo, because okay, if he used this board every day, it is a portal to the underworld. So you could bring whatever spirit into play.
Well, even doing tarot is a portal.
Right.
I mean, so you're opening up that door anyways.
Right.
So whether it's a Ouija or you're doing a penium or you're doing, especially automatic writing, that you're allowing the spirit to come through you to write, that's, I think, even worse than a Ouija. I don't know.
But also, if he used it daily and by himself, first of all, there was no way he knew which spirit came through.
Right.
And also, it could be 10,000 spirits.
True.
It could be spirits of people dead on the other side.
It doesn't have to be Zozo.
No,
but it is what it is.
And also, the fact that he had most likely a Christian background and made him more prone to be afraid.
Of course.
And his family to be afraid, you know. He describes in details all stuff, but I am pretty skeptical that was Zozo.
Yeah. So in the end, does Zozo exist? That's kind of up to you to make that decision.
Right. Well,
for me, I don't think so, but that's ultimately your call.
We would suggest look it up. Here's some videos. Look at the
do the Ouija.
Do the Ouija.
Do it.
Well, I would suggest see the videos first. Maybe you don't want to do the Ouija.
Yeah, maybe not.
But make a judgment call. You know, at least it is true. Darren Evans did make this particular spirit famous.
True.
But at the same time, so did Hollywood. Because if you look at other demons and other spirits, they were made famous from Hollywood. So most people didn't know anything about it before. True. But in the end, I would say make your own judgment. Leave fear as a side, and especially your Christian background. Because that's going to involve more fear and be making you more afraid of what you encounter. True.
Alrighty, guys. Until the next time, remember, truth is always scarier. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.